Hello guys, and welcome to another car obsession walk around. I know it's been quite some time since I've done one of these, and in truth I wasn't too sure whether these videos were still worth doing, because sometimes they get a good amount of views and sometimes they don't. But I thought I'd bring it back, and I'm with a brand new MG ZS. So this is the car that is going to feature in today's walk around. Now normally I would put a GoPro on my head and give you a point of view angle. I'm not doing that in this video purely because this camera that I'm using, which is a Canon G7X Mark II, it should give me a better picture quality, and B, or secondly, I don't know whether I said firstly or A few moments ago, but anyway, but B or secondly, when I've got the GoPro attached to my head, obviously I can't see what I'm filming, so sometimes the angles were quite iffy. Anyway, enough of that, onto the car. So let's have a quick look at what it has to offer. Now, some of you may not even know that MG is still making cars, but the brand is, as you're probably aware, they are owned by a Chinese company now. So if you're expecting the brand to carry on pumping out small sports cars, then I'm afraid you are likely to be disappointed. Now, some of you may recognize the ZS name because it was the same name given to a performance saloon back in the early noughties, which had a V6 engine. Obviously this car is poles apart from that car, but like I say, MG has evolved and it has changed in order to survive. Anyway, let's talk about the looks of this car. Now, it is quite a handsome looking car. However, I do have some gripes with the design. Firstly, if you come to the front like so, you will find it looks very much like a Mazda CX-5. And if you come to the rear, you will find, well, in my opinion anyway, it looks quite similar to the Kia Sportage. So it's not a bad looking car, but it's not very original, is it? Now, this is the mid-range model, which is called Excite, meaning that as standard, you get 17-inch alloys, which they look alright. They're not the prettiest alloys in the world, but they're not the ugliest. But what I will say is they do look rather lost in the wheel arches. Now, a few weeks back, I had a DS7 Crossback, which had 20-inch alloys, and I said they were a bit too big. Now, in the case of this car, I would argue 17 inches is too small. So if it were up to me, I think 18-inch would look better, but that isn't available as an option. And even if you go for the top of a range model, you will still, you will still only get 17-inch alloys, albeit with a different design. Anyway, let's jump inside, which is bound to be very warm because it is a scorcher in the UK today. Now, I have to say, the inside is very nice for a car of this price. So this particular model starts at £13,995, and for that you would expect quite a cheap bog standard interior, but in fact it's actually quite nice. I wouldn't go so far to say it's premium, but it's not bad. So you've got these nice fabric seats with the dog tooth design, which I really like. Very reminiscent of the Citroen C3 Aircross I had a few weeks back. And if I step in like so, sorry guys, but I will leave the door open because it is about 29 degrees today. So yeah, it's very warm. But if you come inside, you'll find you've got a soft touch dashboard, which I really wasn't expecting for a car of this price. It feels really pleasing to touch, and you've got a flat bottom steering wheel trimmed in leather, which again feels very nice. I wouldn't go so far to say premium, but it's not a bad effort, so I am impressed by that. You've probably noticed the 8-inch touchscreen, which is standard on this model and the top of a range model. Let me fire up the car so you can actually have a look at it. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to look at what I'm doing and look at my camera at the same time. Right, the radio will play, so I need to mute that in a few moments. Yeah, the touchscreen is a bit slow, if I'm going to be honest. Oh. There we go, got there eventually. Right, let's turn that off. So this is the first ever touchscreen in an MG car, and yep, it's okay, it's not too bad. It works well enough. It can be a little bit slow to respond sometimes, but on the whole it's okay. It's got nice colours to it. There we go. It's got nice colours to it, and yeah, the resolution isn't the worst I've ever seen. Now, it's got Apple CarPlay, which comes as standard, but you haven't got Android Auto. However, you do have Bluetooth. So, for example, I've got a Galaxy S9. So, although I can't use Apple CarPlay, obviously, I can still use Bluetooth. And Bluetooth is even available on the base model as well. Also got air conditioning, which on days like today is very handy to have. But again, that's not available on the base model. Cruise control, which is also available on the base model. I've got automatic lights as well, which I can just show you there. And your usual buttons on the steering wheel, so source, telephone, volume controls, next track and so forth. And then this controls the display up here. It's a little monochrome display. And of course you've got the voice recognition. So the inside it's quite a nice place to be. In regards to storage, you've got a slot down there, 2 cup holders in the middle, another slot there, a door bin which you should be able to fit a 1 litre bottle of water in, like a medium sized bottle, and a glove box which has an alright amount of space. Now, the only part of the interior I don't like is this fake carbon fibre effect. I really don't understand the need for it. After all, this is a cheap, practical family SUV. It's not a hot hatchback, so why has it got this cheap, fake carbon fibre effect? I really don't understand, and if anything, I think it cheapens the inside of the car. So if it were up to me, I'd get rid of it. I would either make it gloss black or maybe make it silver to match that. So MG, if you're watching, please get rid of this fake carbon fibre effect, because you know it's pretty ghastly. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the back so I can show you the space back there. So as always, the driver's seat has been altered for my 6'2" frame, and already you can probably see, apologies about the shadows, but you should be able to see just how much legroom I've got on offer. And let me climb in and close the door. Actually, no, I'm not going to close the door. Actually, it's probably a bad idea because it will get very warm in here. But you can see I've got lots of legroom, which is very impressive indeed. And I've got enough space underneath the seat to slot my feet. So if I want to put my feet right underneath, I can do so, and I can stretch right back. But what about headroom? Well, let's flip the camera around. Hello. So yes, I've got plenty of headroom, which is very impressive indeed. So even if you wanted to get someone in the back which was taller than me, I should say, you would be able to do so, because space in the back is very good. And fitting 3 adults in the back, I reckon you should be able to do that with little complaint. So you have got a lot of space back here. And of course, with it being a family orientated car, you have of course got ISOFIX points. Right, so let's have a quick look at the boot, which I will be grateful for, because it means I can get out of this stuffy car. Oh, back into the great outdoors. Stunning. Right. Open up the tailgate like so. Opens up very much like a Volkswagen, which I do rather like. And, oh, I'm really sorry guys, lighting is awful. Let me stoop down a bit. There we go, it's better. So what you're looking at, guys, is 448 litres worth of space, making it one of the biggest in class. You've also got these handy cargo nets down here, so if you want to put bits in here about it flying about, you can do so. Again, apologies guys, you can't really see it. There we go, it's a little bit better. Now, if you do want more space, you can of course fold down the 60/40 rear seats to give you 1,375 litres. Only real complaint is that it has got a fair lip. So let's pretend this bag was really heavy. So let's say you've been shopping, you've got heavy bags, you have to lift it up, then you've got to drag it over that hump like so, which could be a little bit annoying. Now you can fix this issue by raising the the boot floor. The sun has frazzled my brain. So you can bring that up so the lip isn't quite as pronounced. So now if I put my bag there, you will see it's not quite as deep, but it does mean that you've got less storage space. Now, there's no spare wheel option. Instead, you get a puncture repair kit, but a lot of modern cars do that nowadays, so that's not exactly anything new. Right, let me conclude by showing you the engine, which I need to do by, oh, shut up, pulling this lever there. Right, so I need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to pop you guys just here for the time being. There we are. Angle it down so you can see what I'm doing. Isn't it annoying when you can never find the catch? Okay. Right, so then what you are looking at is a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine. Now, there's no diesel engines available in the ZS range, so if you're looking for a diesel, you would need to look elsewhere. I've got wasps attacking me, sod off. Right, so this engine produces 105 brake horsepower with 141 Newton meters of torque. It's only available with a 5-speed manual gearbox, and it will hit 62 miles per hour in 10.9 seconds and continue to a top speed of 109 miles per hour. Now, you do have a choice of a 1 litre turbocharged petrol, which is 3 cylinders, whereas this engine is 4 cylinders. Now, that engine is only available with a 6-speed automatic and is actually slower to 62 miles per hour. That's 12.4 seconds, and as I've mentioned, this is 10.9 seconds. But the top speed is a little bit higher. It's 112 miles per hour, whereas, as I've mentioned, this one is 109. So yes, that is the engine, of course. In regards to fuel economy, this engine will offer up to 49.6 mpg on a combined run, whereas the 1 litre turbo is 44.9. In regards to CO2, this engine emits 129 grams of CO2 per kilometre, and the 1 litre turbo emits 144 grams per kilometre of CO2. So if you're looking for a greener engine, this is the one to have, and it will save you money on petrol as well. And it's cheaper. Right, I shall pop you guys back up here, just whilst I put the bonnet down. Oh, there we are, guys, the brand new MG ZS. Let me know what you think of the car. If you have any questions about it, be sure to leave a comment, but I think that's enough from me in this video. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you haven't done already, please subscribe for more car obsession.